Hey people, Intro here, 3v3 faction war. This is Argus Desert Gate and Chaos Space Marines versus Imperial Guard. For the blue Chaos fellas, we have two Sorcerers. First up is Burning here with Black Legion, and Handsome Sodding with the Word Bearers, DLC. These are offensive and destructive heroes with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Rounding off the team, Alphonsi's Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption fighting in melee, and the Night Lord's elite scheme here. For the Red Guard, SStepan is an Inquisitor, an offensive hero with powerful control, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. Alongside HazeHazeHaze, Lord Commissar, strong offense and support fighting in melee, begins with a shield, can shoot his own fellows in the head to encourage them. We have the Talon Desert Raiders elite scheme. Rounding off the teams, up on the east side, New Bad and a Lord General fighting in ranged combat, begins with a retinue, and add to the retinue over the game with strong defense and support. One of them's died already. I think it was Nigel. Nigel's down. Heretics trying to cap. They're taking a bunch of damage doing so. Double Guardsman, there's the first Doom Bolts. They did a half decent job, I think they're avoiding it. More CSM coming in for Alphonsi and for Burning. There's going to be another Doom Bolts. And that one was much nastier. The Sorcerer consumed one of those Heretics for energy, and only one of them gets away. I don't think that was worth the cap there. They should have been fighting. And the CSM maybe should be fighting those Guardsmen. That's a good stomp. Oh, HazeHazeHaze just dropped some Guardsmen in the mid. Look at that. Maybe it was a Doom Bolt, say. We'll go back to the east side. Sorcerer is going to be chased down, I think, and finished off. Yup. Lord General runs. I think he should have stayed in play, you know. He should have gone for this garrison. He'd still have the Sentinel here too. Over on the west side, the Chaos Lord's fallen over. How do you kill a Chaos Lord first engagement with double Guardsman and a Sentinel? Maybe Hammer of the Witches on retreat. But still, come on now. Chaos Space Marines here with Eternal War. The other fellas, they may have dropped a model, or maybe they were really lucky, but they're back up to 3 now. And a Sentinel for Haze, decapping that natural VP, I should say. Eastern Natural still blue. Double CSM here trying to bash power. They should be shooting at the generators. They'll go down much quicker. Sentinel just hanging out, doesn't want to get involved. He'll be shot down. So more Heretics into Chaos Space Marines for Handsome. Sodding, and we do have Eternal War. 20% more damage on those fellas. That little plus icon and the insignias around their weapons will help them focus down these Sentinels for sure, and also rip through those Guardsman models. Sodding has a couple of buddies to revive. Looks like he's coming to the west side first, and is going to help push here too. It's a very narrow lane, so maybe some heavy bolter action. No sign of it yet for SStepan. Do have Catachan Devils on the way for New Bad on the east side. Lord General goes straight for the Heretics in melee. He's got a special attack even, this fella. I'm not sure what his melee DPS is, the Lord General. I'm sure it's more than the Plague Champion, though, isn't it? These fellows with grenade launchers are a big threat to the Guardsmen. CSM chasing them around in melee, which is generally what you want to do. Massively outclass them in melee combat. But they are persuaded to all run. And here's Sodding splitting his forces, trying to support this side as well. Sorcerer, oh, he's retreated off the field to get him back over to the east side a bit quicker, I think, to revive over there. Inquisitor with her fancy plasma pistol. I don't think it's especially great. I think it's like 8 DPS or something. Hammer of the Witches. Weird that she didn't just Hammer of the Witches one of these guys, because they were quite low. Can they get the Inquisitor down? They can. Lord Commissar should be able to get a revive there, which should mean he hits level 2. Back to the east side. Catachan's doing their thing. Very versatile infantry that can disrupt from long and short range. They've got shotguns. They can plant bombs. They can infiltrate. They can help out with a smoke bomb. And they've got power melee weapons. They can do a lot for you, these fellas. You need to try and manage them well. Havoc shutting them down there, but they can dislodge those fellas with a grenade launcher barrage. Why are you moving, guys? You're in a pretty good spot. Once they get close to the garrison, or maybe into the garrison, which I don't think is a great idea. Those Guardsmen can get flamers. The Catachans could also plant a booby trap or an improvised explosive right outside your garrison. Here's the revive. Sodding hits level 2. The other Sorcerer is moving away, and there's a sync kill on the Lord Commissar. Chucked in absolutely miles. 491 to 382. 2-1 for the Chaos Fellas. Raptors on the field for burning. That's on the east side here. Making their way up the staircase. Jump troops that suppress units when they land. Doom bolts going in again. The bane of guardsmen. I guess most things that hurt are the bane of guardsmen, aren't they? Grenade launcher heretics now have an aspiring champion who gets a bolt gun. I think it's like single digit DPS these days, that bolt gun, but it's there. A bunch of the models will have auto guns as well. Heretics coming in with a Doom Blast, detonating one of the models to deal damage around them and suppress units. Very useful for countering melee advances. Down goes the Sentinel. Caught in a really bad spot for HazeHazeHaze. Fighting up these stairs can be a death trap. 491 to 351. Good sustained pressure here from Chaos to have the east side locked down. There's the raptor jump. And there's that suppression. Not quite close enough to suppress the Lord General there, who's got his little medic friend in. And they go into the garrison, okay. That medic fella can hand out medical packs to allies. I think it's 100 heal per model, which is a lot when you're a guardsman. And it is helpful for everyone. You can even hand them out to allied heroes. Hammer of the Witches on the aspiring champion there, who is a die last hero. So that would have been spread throughout the squad, that damage. A die last squad leader, I should say. Chaos Lord narrowly avoids an improvised explosive. He's lost a bunch of health here. Does not want to go in for Kill the Weak, apparently. Falls back to the double CSM and has a Blood Crusher on the way. Does have Havocs up as well. They're quite far back. That's what he's falling back to mainly, I think. And does SStepan know that they're here? Must do now. 491 to 308. Blue team's still milling around on the east side, but they've basically completely bashed it and taken it over. Haven't taken this wreck point. And haven't technically decapped that power, but it's only providing +2 at the moment. Raptors jumping in aggressively. Taking a whole bunch of damage doing it. Also running into a stomp. And those CSM ran into it as well. Maybe they're still on melee mode from a previous engagement or something. Raptors get away without a model loss. These CSM are way too close to things. Catachans should be on them. Not sure what they were trying to do there. Maybe they were trying to melee another squad. But they successfully run. More Catachans getting healed by the medical pack they were given. Are these new bads? Yeah, these are new bads, Catachans. 491 to 275. Everyone's in tier 2. In fact, SStepan has Ogrins up. Alphonsi's got his Blood Crusher up. Manticore on the field for Haze into some Stormtroopers. The Blood Crusher will get destroyed by the Ogrins. Blood Crushers don't have any melee resistance and only has 600 hit points of vehicle armor. Ogrins can smash through anything with heavy melee damage, and there's their boned leader. Blood Crusher does have good mobility. He can also scare them off momentarily with his demonic roar. Maybe just charge away. Gonna need to be careful and have maybe worship around. Might be a good idea to wait for the Ogrins to close and then kind of charge through them into the backline. And then the Ogrins have to make a decision about chasing the Blood Crusher back or trying to get into the Chaos backline. There's Silently from Interrogator's armor infiltrating these fellas. No aspiring champion on the Heretics, so they can't spot them. Here we go. Spotted them now. We have Plasma Guardsmen. We do not have Plasma Guardsmen yet. Might see some Marco Zinch against those Ogrins. Lightning Claws, maybe. There's Malignant Blindness. Global ability of the Chaos Lord. Providing, well, messing up the vision of your enemies. The Heretics, did they die? Oh, one of them got away. Did he try to use... It looked like he tried to use Let the Galaxy Burn. It didn't work or something. Gets smashed to death by the Ogrins. 491 to 196 on the VPs. 2-1 cap for Chaos with a big VP lead. They've really dominated the east side, basically the entire match, actually. Here's some more Ogrins, this time from New Bad, and the Lord General can support them quite well. If he gets close enough, he can use a bunch of buffs. And here we see some shotguns. Added new in 2.11. This is 2.11.1, by the way, the first cast I've done on this version. For the Chaos and the Guard, it's mainly just some smallish fixes and some tooltip adjustments and things. But the shotguns replaced the grenade launchers. And they provide the move, move, move. So now we can like run alongside Ogrins, buffing their speed and getting some shotgun blasts in, rather than having those awkward grenade launchers with a move skill on them, which was always a bit strange. Missile launcher sentinels in play, level 2. Anti-armor stormtroopers. No armor on the enemy team. There's tier 3 for Sodding, and there's the dark flames in retreat path. Sorcerer shenanigans and Rod of Warp fires here. Doom bolts. Just nasty. Demon armor's in too. Ogrins back onto the field. Look at that. The Guard pushing through the east side. Well done, fellas. Ogrins can make a massive difference for you pushing areas for Guard with their kind of on-demand knockback disruption that they have with the Bonehead Leader. Might see it right here. Because they got some Raptors to fight. There we go. So you activate it, instantly get some knockback. And then I think it's 4 seconds later it activates again and knocks back everything again. It's bloody nice. A shame that they lose it when they become Bullgrins, actually. 472 to 165. Disruption is often better than suppression, although the suppression does affect quite a large area when they are Bullgrins. It's quite nice. Good spotter shell in there. Decent hit. Raptors jumping through. Getting some more hits without their aspiring champions so far, but they are level 2. Done a good job with their suppression stuffs. There's some plasma guardsmen though, so they don't want to stop and cap. They'll get plasmaed up. 454, 165, kicking off towards the west side. What's going on? Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines are going on for Sodding. Chaos Lords had enough of these Ogrins, got Lightning Claws in, and a Dark Halo. Still has Armored Inferno though, so he's not getting energy back on hit or anything. And he's still level 1, the poor fella. Taking some melter guns to the face here, shotguns, las guns. Time to back away, bud. Got stomped and stunned. So the blue team back on the east side. Big VP lead's going to open up even more. Double the Mark Zinch CSM, is that? It is. Good against the Ogrins. Not really a cost-efficient purchase against the Guardsmen and stuff, though. Is it overkill for a single Ogrin squad? They don't have a sparring champion, so they didn't spend on that. With Warp Fire can disrupt them and then shoot them up pretty good. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Ogrins are so dangerous, they can make a big difference. Got to shoot them though. There we go. Some Chains of Torment from the Robes of Torment. Didn't get any shots in while it was active, and down goes the Sorcerer now. Raptors going in bravely, and then they bravely run away. Some buffs from the Lord General going in. Black Jacket for incoming. Range damage reduced by 30%, immune to weapon knockback. It's an amazing buff to chuck on the Ogrins, especially alongside the move, move, move. If you can throw in the Primaris Psyker for telekinetic dome, maybe for big fights as well. Mortar Shell knocks back the Havocs. Ogrins having to run. There's an autocannon in there from Alphonsi, bringing it all the way over here to help out. Really powerful weapon with good damage against all targets. 444 to 120, and they force the Guard off the east side. Top 2, says New Bad, indicating there's more than one player up here. There's actually 3 players up here in some way. Handsome Sodding's been splitting basically the whole game. And if even Alphonsi splitting something all the way over there now. We got the Holy Brazier in for the Inquisitor, level 3. Interrogator's armor, as we've seen. And there's the Lord Commissar, no war gear, but he's level 2. And there's a Chaos Predator and a heavy turret. Heavy turret can spin 360, so I don't know what his tank's doing. Maybe, no, he's just getting away, okay. I thought he was just going to go up the stairs and leave, but... Oh, he didn't get away, okay. He tried to get it into demonic armor range. I thought that way would be a quicker escape, but I'm not sure if that would have worked either, because he would have been rear armored. subjugated Ogrins take out their own turret, subjugated by the Chaos Sorcerer, and then they turn on him. Subjugated units are immune to damage, move slightly slower, but they deal more damage as well. So turning them on their allies is super effective. 442 to 90. Sorcerer escapes. That's a pretty effective Holy Pyre from the Inquisitor there. Ogrins still on a warpath, taking out some heretics. I don't think they can fight Mark of Khorne CSM with that much health. Maybe we'll see there's a level 2 CSM as well. Those chain axes are power weapons. And the aspiring champion, does he get a special chain axe? Not sure. He does get a nice melt pistol though. Over on the east side, Lightning Claw, Chaos Terminators, absolutely terrifying for all of this infantry now from burning. Those splash damage, power melee Lightning Claws with demoralization on kill. That's what that red effect that you see. Debuffing all those fellas. Got some Kasrkin though. Almost 13 DPS per plasma gun. No, sorry. Almost 20 DPS per plasma gun. The 13 is for the Hell Guns. Not bad at all. Getting torn up, of course, in melee though. And here's some Melter Guns. Good versus super heavy infantry armor, which is what these Terminators are. So are those Plasmas. Ouch. Doom Bolts almost whapping the Catechins. How do you have 5 models on like 20 hit points there? They did die eventually from a bunch of fire. Subjugated Kasrkin. Chucking a grenade nowhere just to get it on cooldown, so they can't use it later. Sending them back towards the enemy side, and they can get flanked now by the Chaos Space Marines. But they all like went after one model, so it looks like they're going to get it away. Yep, they escape. Move to escape here maybe. Chaos have pushed through the mid. 391 to 90. It's a lot of VPs to make up late game. Tier 3 for New Bad. Ogrins smashing around the Mark of Khorne CSM. Here's some Raptors. Suppressing stuff. Move is active, I think. Look how quick those Ogrins are. And there's the incoming. Sorcerer may subjugate them. We just saw a heal go off from the medic as well, I think. No Sorcerers off the field. No subjugation here. There's the double Mark of Tzeentch CSM though. Levels, but no aspiring champion. If you're wondering why a player wouldn't purchase the aspiring champion to get the fancy plasma gun. Because, well, obviously he has a cost, but he also adds to your upkeep. Adds to your population, thus your upkeep, and slows down your resource income. And I think double Mark of Tzeentch without those plasma guns is enough DPS to deal with Ogrins if you have other things around to control their movement, of course. It's not going to be enough just alone, just raw damage if they're able to run around freely. Level 3 Sorcerer was off the field there, so he couldn't control them. And we got some super heavy tanks on the way, which is always fun. A Baneblade for HazeHazeHaze and a Baneblade for SStepan. Great Unclean One for Sodding. And Landraider Phobos for Alphonsi. Expected to see more Terminators help deal with these Ogrins. Let the Galaxy Burn certainly goes off. This time Dark Flames and the Doom Bolts. So many things. The CSM running into it though. And there's that Holy Pyre. Slows you down and does some damage over time. Doesn't slow you down, it debuffs your damage output. Rocket Run. Not sure who that was from. Maybe SStepan. Didn't do a whole lot. I guess it got them off the VP. Triple cap for the Imperial Guard. Can they keep the pressure up? They got the super heavy tanks coming in. Leman Russ for New Bad. Awesome push from the Imperial Guard though, eh? Stormtroopers level 3 actually, with an anti-armor kit. Trying to shoot down the Chaos Lord. Shield thrown up from Sodding. Level 8 Sorcerer, you know. Great Unclean One. Somehow misses with that Nurgle Vomit. Eats a Melter Bomb. Sentinel may want to switch to crack missiles to shoot the Great Unclean One. Looks like he's happy to get shots on the Plague Marines for now. They're shooting the Sorcerer, those guys. Bad place to be, fellas. These are HazeHazeHaze Kashyyykin. Limited to 1, by the way, the Kashyyykin, because they're really bloody good. Can switch their guns around, can move faster, can cap faster. Here's the Baneblade. Great Unclean One is leaving, going west side. On the east side, though, an Executioner Leman Russ. Very good against enemy infantry. Nice tool to have against those Terminators, if you can get it on them. Down to 51 VPs, though. The Guard couldn't keep the pressure up. I mean, it's tough. Some more Kashyyykin on the way, this time for New Bad. And they take a model off these Terminators, kicking off in the mid. Baneblade's turned around, which is bad. Here comes another Baneblade. Phobos is trying to get on it with las cannons. Great Unclean One passively damages nearby enemies. He's not close enough to stink out those guardsmen, though, it seems. Subjugated Ogrins turned on their own super heavy vehicles. That's bad news, eh? Can you stun the Sorcerer with Hammer of the Witch to take him out of that subjugation, I wonder? Ogrins now back under their own control. Going after some CSM. Down goes the Phobos. This Manticore is getting awfully close to stuff, isn't it? What is it up to? I think HazeHazeHaze forgotten about that thing. Down it goes. Sentinel still going, eh? Level 3. Ogrins. Did they wipe those CSM? I think they did. Alphonsi has no CSM left. I think this Great Unclean One's going to be warped back to safety by Sodding. Or is it? Does he have the red for that? He doesn't. I don't think he does. Great Unclean One's going to go down unless he can get a bunch of red quickly. 289 to 16. Great Unclean One eventually goes down. He's now going to explode, healing allies and damaging enemies. And it does huge amounts of damage. Those Baneblades need to leave. 289 to 16. There's the explosion. A bunker coming in to get repairs going, I imagine. Ogrins on the cap, are they? No. Kashyyykin on the cap. They are fast cappers. They got their melter guns in, these fellas. East side is red with a Leman Russ. Alphonsi's down to Plague Marines. Great Unclean One on the way. Doom bolts. They got a quick decap. There's a double for the Guard. Ogrins now running interference, getting stuff away from the VP, but they can't stay there for long. Level 4, these fellas. 2,609 hit points. If they are made into Bullgrims, it will reset their level, so you may see those guys stay as Ogrins. What are other fellas level 3? Lord Commissar down. Inquisitor down. These are revived, surely, by the Lord General. Level 7, this guy. 231 to 16. Plague Marines are capping. Chaos don't have a fast capping unit. Markov Corn CSM harassing the Sentinel, eating a stomp for it. And then they run. I thought they'd stay up and go after the Sentinel again, but maybe because of the Catechans and their shotguns and stuff, they didn't want to. On the east side, Imperial Abyss from Alphonsi. Rocket run thrown in. Subjugated Ogrins were there. Getting dragged into the Abyss. They probably think it's a ride or something. Here comes a Baneblade. And we have Chaos Raptors with their melter guns. The aspiring champion now gets a power fist, as you can see, and a melter pistol. And I believe the melter pistol does have the same DPS as the others' melter guns. Down goes that Chaos Predator. That was a Marco Zinch guy too. This Baneblade's in a bad spot though. Really bad spot. You see some very brave guardsmen trying to force melee on those Raptors. They can't fire their melter guns. They of course have that power fist doing work. Baneblade needs to keep moving or get repaired or something. It's going to go down. Great Unclean One comes through with a cloud of flies. 184 to 16. Still no revive for that Inquisitor, eh? Baneblade destroyed. There's Alphonsi. Lord General comes back to the east side. I'm not sure if SStepan has called for the revive. Here comes the other Baneblade. And the Dark Flames chucked in there from one of the Sorcerers. Single cap now for the guard. Can they hold on? Great Unclean One fights everyone. Another abyss, this time from one of the sorcerers. Looks like burning, perhaps, from the look of their red. Everything scatters. And manages to stay in play, you know. How are you doing, Baneblade? Almost full hit points, actually. Oh, these guys are becoming Bullgrins, look. Those are new Ogrins, so they're not going to lose their levels. They didn't have any. So Bullgrins are in. How does that new bad upgraded his Ogrins too? And they were like level 3 or 4 or something. The Bullgrins get higher base stats and some nice shields for electrocuting nearby enemies and suppressing them. Great Unclean One, another on the way for Sodding. And this one's still going. Stormtrooper's trying to cap. Boom bolts and warp fire says no. And now it's going into melee. Heavy turret. You can change this heavy turret into an executioner. In fact, that's what we just see. Better against infantry. You might be able to mess up these Terminators quite a lot, actually. Yeah, pushing them back immediately. Meanwhile, the Bullgrin's doing huge work. Able to decap this. It is being taken back. And there's the use your shield to suppress. 114 to 16. Yeah, I think that is a repair bunker. Subjugated Bullgrins now. They're just going to be sent back into enemy territory, but they should be able to escape quite easily if he's paying attention. Yep, they run. Nothing is capping here. They're busy repairing. Looks like Kassakin are maybe going to do it. I go mid, says Sodding. Still no revive from this Lord General. SStepan needs to call it out. Right here, easy to revive. Heavy weapon squad on the way for Haze. Bloodletter's up for Alphonsi. They'll be useful against the Bullgrins and Ogrins. I go mid too, says Burning. Are they going to triple the mid? It is a viable tactic on this map to try and hold both the naturals. Sentinel goes down, did so much work for the red team. What was that Sorcerer doing? Looked like he was subjugating something, but I don't see anything subjugated. Maybe just striking a pose. The Chaos Lord wasted his time attacking the Baneblade there, I think. That's going to be a Demolisher Cannon from the Baneblade, knocking around those CSM. Inquisitor back to her feet here. Did she repurchase? I'm not sure, actually. Is New Bad down here? I think maybe she repurchased. Oh, New Bad is over here. Dunno. Maybe he went over there. Double Great Unclean Ones. Baneblade needs to keep moving. Just moving all the time and shooting, I think. There's a Dark Flames. So many Dark Flames. It's nasty. And you try and focus down one of these Great Unclean Ones. I don't want to split the damage, I don't think. Bloodletter's sent packing. These Ogrins are determined to go after this guy, even though this fella's lower. Raptors on the retreat. 81 to 16. It's so close. Okay, there's going to be Bullgrins and Ogrins on this guy. The Kassakin able to cap through the cloud of flies there. Can they finish it? They can. Now they need to run. And they do. That thing gets warped back to safety by the Sorcerer. 76 to 16. Can they warp this thing, though? Burning would have to do it. It's definitely on cooldown. There it is. Burning gets it done. And they can heal up back at base now. Inquisitor taking their natural, though. Tested turning blue, but there's Ogrins and Bullgrins here. Subjugation. Oh, they can't knock him over. They don't have... Use your red, do they, when they got their shields? 50 to 16. Baneblade's actually being used really well by SStepan. He's not just parking it in one place. He's supporting the mid and the east side, and he's kept it alive. Can't ask for much more out of your Baneblade. Ouch. Big ouch. Ogrins run. Bullgrins did not get away. We had a Chains of Torment with a bunch of Marquisite CSM damage going in. Level 4 guys too. That was painful. 22-16 single for the guard. Can anything grab the east side? Here's a Land Red of Phobos to help. Alphonsi's floating huge amounts of resources here. Really needs to purchase something. Rocket runs. Doesn't stop the cat. 21 to 14. Bulgrin's trying to get a decap now. Dirge Caster going off. Baneblade being smacked on by a great unclean one as Chaos Terminator's in there, ripping stuff apart. 21 to 1, single cap at the end. These guys got a decap look. And the Chaos fellas take it, but that was insanely close. The red team did an amazing job coming back. They were like 300 VPs down at some point, maybe even 400. This Sorcerer, level 5 down at the end. There was lots of good Sorcerer shenanigans with the Warp Fires and the Subjugating and the Dark Flames, and of course the Doom Bolts. Level 10 Sorcerer for handsome Sodding. Chaos Lord, he got level 8. Did a lot of lightning clawing, I guess. And did have Mantle of Hate at the end for the life drain. Level 6 Inquisitor. Had the Mandate. She was down for so long though. Really should have revived her new bad. And the Lord Commissar was down for ages. Fist of Brockus would have really helped in amongst those Ogrins and Bulgrins. Level 3. And the Lord General himself, level 8. With those shotguns. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to these guys for playing us a faction war. Not sure if it was planned or just a happy accident. But it was awesome. And I'll see ya next time.